Imagine this. You're sitting in a doctor's office. You feel fine, maybe a little tired, a little stressed, but nothing serious. Then the doctor looks you in the eye and says, "You have clogged arteries. You are at risk of a heart attack." Now here's the shocking part. Most people never see it coming. Heart disease doesn't knock on the door with a warning sign. It builds silently year after year while we keep eating, keep rushing, keep saying, "I'll change tomorrow." And then one day, tomorrow never comes. But here's the truth that no one talks about enough. You don't have to wait for a heart attack to change your life. There are foods, simple, natural, powerful foods that can literally help your arteries heal. Foods that act like little warriors inside your body, fighting off inflammation, melting away plaque, and keeping your blood flowing freely. Imagine eating something today that could save your life tomorrow. And I'm not talking about rare, exotic, impossible to find ingredients. I'm talking about foods you can pick up in any grocery store. Foods that, when eaten consistently, have been shown to lower cholesterol, reduce blood pressure, and even prevent the #1 killer in the world, heart disease. So let me ask you, if there were foods proven to unclog your arteries and protect your heart, wouldn't you want to know exactly what they are, how they work, and how to make them a part of your daily life before it's too late? Stay with me, because by the end of this talk, you won't just know these foods. You'll see how each meal can become your medicine, your protection, and your chance at a longer, stronger life. Every single day, more than 1,800 people in the United States lose their lives to heart disease. That's one person every 33 seconds. Think about that. By the time you finish listening to this speech, hundreds of families will be grieving, hundreds of dreams will be cut short, and countless lives will be forever changed. And yet, the most frightening part of all of this is not just the number of people who die from heart disease. It's how silently it creeps into our lives. Heart disease is called the silent killer for a reason. Most people don't feel it happening. They don't wake up in the morning thinking, "Today my arteries are getting clogged." No, they feel normal. They go to work, take care of their kids, scroll through their phones, and suddenly one day chest pain strikes, or worse, they collapse without warning. Now let's pause and really let that sink in. Your heart is not just another organ. It is the very engine of your life. It beats more than 100,000 times every single day, without rest, without a break, pumping blood through over 60,000 miles of arteries, veins, and capillaries in your body. That's enough to circle the globe twice. And yet this incredible organ that works tirelessly for you day and night can be destroyed by the simplest choices: what you eat, how you move, how you live. Why does this matter so much? Because when your arteries become clogged, it's like pouring cement into the pipes that carry water through your house. At first, you don't notice much. The water still flows, though a little less smoothly. But over time, the buildup grows thicker, harder, and more dangerous. Then one day, the pipe is blocked completely in your body. That blockage can trigger a heart attack or stroke. And once it happens, it can be fatal, or it can leave you permanently disabled, unable to live the life you once took for granted. And here's the cruel truth. Heart attacks don't discriminate. They don't care about your job, your family, your plans for the future. You could be young, ambitious, and full of life, but if your arteries are clogged, you are walking on a ticking time bomb. Millions of people find out too late. People in their 30s, 40s, 50s, people who thought heart disease was only something that happened to the elderly. The reality is this: heart disease is the #1 killer of both men and women, and it's hitting people younger and younger every year. But here's the part that gives us hope. Heart disease is not always inevitable. In fact, in many cases, it is preventable, and in some cases, it can even be reversed. The choices you make today, the food you put on your plate, the habits you create, the lifestyle you live, these can literally decide whether your arteries stay clear and flexible or whether they harden and clog. Every meal is like a vote for health, energy, and life, or a vote for disease, pain, and struggle. Think about the people who depend on you, your family, your children, your friends. What would it mean to them if you could guarantee that you'll be there to celebrate milestones, to guide them, to love them, to share life's moments with them? Protecting your heart is not just about you, it's about everyone who loves you. A healthy heart means more years of laughter, more adventures, more time to live the life you deserve. Now, let's get real. Too often we brush this off. We tell ourselves, it won't happen to me. I'll change later. I don't feel sick, so I must be fine. But that's the trap. Most people with clogged arteries feel nothing until the damage is already severe. You don't feel cholesterol sticking to the walls of your arteries. You don't feel inflammation slowly narrowing the blood flow. It's silent. That's why waiting for symptoms is dangerous. By the time you feel it, it's often too late. But here's the good news. You are not powerless. In fact, you have far more control than you realize. Your heart is resilient. Your arteries can heal. Studies have shown that when you change your diet and lifestyle, plaque buildup can actually stop progressing. And in some cases, it can shrink. Imagine that. Imagine giving your body a chance to repair itself simply by choosing foods that work with your heart instead of against it. So why does heart health matter? Because it is literally the foundation of your life. Without a healthy heart, nothing else matters. You can't pursue your dreams. You can't enjoy your relationships. You can't live fully. Every beat of your heart is a gift, but it's also a responsibility. You are the guardian of that gift, and what you do with it is entirely up to you. And here's something I want you to remember. Heart attacks don't happen overnight. They are the result of years of daily decisions. That soda you drink, that fried food you choose, that extra cigarette, that skipped workout, it all adds up. But here's the encouraging part. So do the good choices. Every apple, every handful of nuts, every serving of leafy greens, every glass of water, every walk you take, those choices also add up. They build a shield around your heart, one choice at a time. This is why heart health matters so deeply. Because by caring for your heart today, you are protecting your tomorrow. You are giving yourself the power to live longer, to live stronger, and to live without fear. The truth is, your heart is fighting for you every single second. The question is, are you fighting for it? Picture your arteries as smooth, flexible highways inside your body. These highways are built to carry life itself, oxygen-rich blood, straight from your heart to every organ, every muscle, every cell. When they are clean and open, blood flows easily, delivering the energy you need to think, move, breathe, and live. But over time, for millions of people, those highways stop being smooth. They become narrow, stiff, and dangerous. And this is what we call clogged arteries. Understanding how this happens is the key to knowing how to stop it and even reverse it. So let's break it down in the simplest way. Your arteries have inner walls that are smooth, almost like polished glass. They allow blood to glide through effortlessly. But when you eat foods that are high in unhealthy fats, refined sugars, and processed ingredients, tiny particles of cholesterol begin to float around in your bloodstream. Not all cholesterol is bad. You've probably heard of good cholesterol, HDL, and bad cholesterol. HDL helps clean your arteries like a garbage truck collecting waste. LDL, on the other hand, can stick to the walls of your arteries. When too much LDL is in your blood and not enough HDL to clear it away, the sticky particles start embedding themselves into the artery walls. Now, here's where the danger really begins. Your immune system sees that cholesterol sticking to your artery wall as a kind of injury, so it sends white blood cells to attack and clean it up. But instead of fixing the problem, this process creates inflammation. Imagine scratching your skin over and over. It gets red, swollen, irritated. The same thing happens inside your arteries. That constant irritation causes scar tissue to form. Over time, more cholesterol piles up, more inflammation takes place, and what started as a tiny speck becomes a growing plaque. Plaque is like sludge building up inside a water pipe. At first, it might not seem like much. Blood still flows. You don't feel a thing. But as the years go by, the plaque hardens and the space inside your artery, the space where blood should flow freely, becomes smaller and smaller. Your heart now has to pump harder just to push blood through that narrowed passage. This increases blood pressure, strains your heart, and weakens your cardiovascular system. And here's the really scary part. Sometimes plaque doesn't just sit quietly. Sometimes it ruptures. When a piece of plaque breaks off, your body treats it like a wound and immediately forms a blood clot around it. If that clot blocks the artery completely, blood flow stops. If this happens in the arteries that feed your heart, it's called a heart attack. If it happens in the arteries that feed your brain, it's a stroke. Both can strike in an instant, leaving permanent damage or ending life completely. But clogged arteries don't just affect the heart or brain. When blood flow is reduced anywhere in your body, it impacts your health in countless ways. Reduced circulation to your legs can cause pain when walking, a condition known as peripheral artery disease. Reduced blood flow to your kidneys can damage their function. Even erectile dysfunction in men can be an early warning sign of clogged arteries because the blood vessels there are smaller and can be blocked sooner than larger ones. In other words, poor artery health doesn't just threaten your life, it threatens your quality of life. Now, some people believe clogged arteries are only about eating too much cholesterol or fat, but the truth is more complex. Inflammation plays a huge role when you eat processed foods, drink sugary sodas, smoke, or live under chronic stress. Your body becomes inflamed. Think of inflammation as tiny sparks inside your body. Alone, a spark doesn't do much, but when sparks keep flying, they eventually cause a fire. Inflammation makes your artery walls stickier, which attracts even more cholesterol. This is why someone who eats fried fast food every day and rarely eats vegetables is fueling an internal fire, one meal at a time. But here's where the science gets really interesting and hopeful. Research has shown that when people adopt healthier diets rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts, seeds, and healthy fats, not only can they lower LDL cholesterol and reduce inflammation, but they can also increase their HDL cholesterol, the garbage truck of the bloodstream. HDL actively helps carry away the bad cholesterol stuck in artery walls. Over time, this can slow down plaque buildup and in some cases even reverse it. Imagine cleaning out your pipes without surgery, without medication, but simply by changing what you put on your plate. Another important factor is nitric oxide. This is a natural gas your body produces to help arteries relax and widen, allowing blood to flow freely. But poor diet, lack of exercise, and smoking reduce nitric oxide levels, making arteries stiffer and narrower. Foods like leafy greens and beets can boost nitric oxide, almost like giving your arteries a breath of fresh air. It's also important to understand that genetics play a role. Some people are born with a higher risk of high cholesterol or heart disease, but even then, lifestyle can dramatically change the outcome. Think of genetics as a loaded gun, but lifestyle as the finger on the trigger. Just because you inherited risk doesn't mean you have to pull that trigger. So to simplify the science, clogged arteries happen when too much LDL cholesterol, too much inflammation, and too little healthy lifestyle combine to damage your artery walls. Over time, plaque forms, arteries narrow, and blood flow is reduced or stopped entirely. But this process is not a one-way street. By reducing bad cholesterol, lowering inflammation, boosting good cholesterol, and increasing blood flow, you can fight back. The key takeaway is this: clogged arteries don't happen overnight. They are the result of years of choices, good or bad, and that means the choices you make today can change the direction of your tomorrow. Every artery in your body has the potential to heal when you stop feeding it what causes damage and start giving it what promotes health. Science proves this, and your life depends on it. When people hear the words healing foods, they often think of some exotic fruit grown in the mountains of South America or a rare herb that costs a fortune. But the truth is, some of the most powerful foods to protect and even heal your arteries are sitting right in your local grocery store. These are not magic pills or supplements cooked up in a lab. They are natural, whole foods that humans have eaten for centuries, foods designed by nature to nourish, protect, and strengthen your heart. And when you understand how they work, you'll never look at your plate the same way again. Let's start with fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel. These fish are loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, and omega-3s are like superheroes for your arteries. They reduce inflammation, lower triglycerides, and help prevent dangerous clots from forming. Imagine them as tiny firefighters moving through your bloodstream, putting out the sparks of inflammation before they grow into a raging fire. Studies show that people who eat fatty fish regularly have lower risks of heart attacks and strokes. Just 2 servings a week can make a measurable difference in your artery health. Next, let's talk about nuts and seeds, almonds, walnuts, chia seeds, flax seeds. These little powerhouses are full of fiber, healthy fats, and plant sterols that help lower LDL cholesterol, the kind that clogs arteries. Think of them as scrub brushes, sweeping away the debris that collects along your artery walls. Walnuts in particular have been shown to improve the flexibility of blood vessels, helping blood flow more easily. A handful of nuts a day can go a long way toward keeping your arteries clean. Leafy greens like spinach, kale, and arugula are another critical piece of the puzzle. These vegetables are high in nitrates, which your body converts into nitric oxide, the natural compound that relaxes and widens your blood vessels. Remember how I said clogged arteries are like narrow highways? Leafy greens are like construction crews expanding those highways, making more room for traffic to flow. The more greens you eat, the more nitric oxide your body produces, and the smoother your blood flows. Berries deserve a spotlight too. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, packed with antioxidants called anthocyanins. Berries fight oxidative stress, which damages cells and accelerates plaque buildup. They also reduce blood pressure and improve cholesterol levels. Think of them as your artery's personal shield against damage. Eating berries daily has been linked to improved heart health and a lower risk of heart disease. The best part, they're delicious, easy to add to breakfast, snacks, or smoothies, and they satisfy your sweet tooth without the sugar crash of processed dessert. Let's not forget olive oil, especially extra virgin olive oil. It's a cornerstone of the Mediterranean diet, one of the healthiest eating patterns in the world. Olive oil is rich in monounsaturated fats and antioxidants that reduce LDL cholesterol while boosting HDL cholesterol. This is the kind of fat that heals, not harms. Imagine pouring clean, high-quality oil into a machine. It keeps everything running smoothly. That's what olive oil does for your arteries. People who use olive oil regularly have been shown to have lower rates of heart disease and better overall cardiovascular health. Beans and legumes like lentils, chickpeas, and black beans are another secret weapon. They're full of soluble fiber, which binds to cholesterol in your digestive system and helps carry it out of your body before it can enter your bloodstream. It's like sending cholesterol straight to the trash. Studies show that eating just one serving of beans per day can lower LDL cholesterol by as much as 5%. Over time, that adds up to major protection for your arteries. Then we have garlic, a humble ingredient with incredible power. Garlic contains compounds that lower blood pressure, reduce cholesterol, and prevent plaque buildup. It also improves circulation, allowing blood to flow more freely through your arteries. Some studies even suggest garlic can help reduce existing plaque. Think of it as nature's own blood thinner, keeping your arteries open and flowing. Green tea is another simple yet powerful choice. Rich in catechins, a type of antioxidant, green tea helps reduce LDL cholesterol, boosts metabolism, and improves blood vessel function. Drinking a cup or two of green tea each day is like sending a cleansing wave through your arteries, keeping them healthy and resilient. Avocados also deserve mention. They're packed with potassium, which helps regulate blood pressure, and monounsaturated fats that support healthy cholesterol levels. Regular avocado consumption has been linked to a lower risk of heart disease. Slice them on toast, blend them into smoothies, or eat them with salads. They're versatile and artery-friendly. Now here's the important thing to understand. No single food is a miracle cure. Eating one salad or one piece of salmon will not magically unclog your arteries. It's about consistency. It's about creating a pattern of eating where your daily choices work with your body instead of against it. Every time you choose leafy greens over fries, or berries over candy, or olive oil over butter, you're investing in your heart. You're giving your arteries a chance to heal. And the beauty of it all is that these foods don't just protect your heart, they protect your entire body. They boost your energy, sharpen your mind, strengthen your immune system, and help you maintain a healthy weight. They give you vitality. They help you live, not just survive. Think of your body as a car. You put low quality fuel into the engine, it sputters, breaks down, and fails long before its time. But if you fuel it with clean, high quality energy, it runs smoothly, powerfully, and reliably for years. Your body is no different. The food you eat is your fuel. And when you choose artery healing foods, you're choosing a life of strength, energy, and longevity. So the next time you pick up your fork, remember this, it's not just about satisfying hunger. It's about medicine. It's about healing. It's about protecting the most important muscle in your body, your heart. These foods are not just meals. They are your shield against the number one killer in the world. They are your path to freedom from fear, freedom from disease, and freedom to live fully. Here's the hard truth. Just as there are foods that heal, there are also foods that silently harm. They don't just fill your stomach. They damage your arteries, fuel inflammation, and push you one step closer to a heart attack. The most dangerous part, many of these foods are the very things we've grown up eating every single day. They're convenient, they taste good, they're marketed as normal, but they are slowly poisoning the highways of your body. If you truly want to protect your heart, you can't just add healthy foods. You also need to cut down or even eliminate the ones that destroy it. Let's start with processed meats, like bacon, sausages, hot dogs, and deli slices. They're salty, fatty, and often preserved with chemicals like nitrates and nitrites. These chemicals may give the meat its color and flavor, but inside your body, they fuel inflammation and damage the lining of your arteries. Over time, eating these meats regularly increases your risk of clogged arteries and heart disease dramatically. You might tell yourself, it's just a slice of bacon, but imagine what happens when you eat that slice day after day, year after year. It builds up. It takes its toll. Then there are fried foods, French fries, fried chicken, onion rings. These are soaked in oils that are often reused, overheated, and loaded with trans fats. Trans fats are the worst kind of fat for your heart because they raise your LDL cholesterol, the bad kind, and lower your HDL cholesterol, the good kind. That's a deadly combination. Think of trans fats as pouring glue into your arteries. Every bite of deep fried food makes your blood vessels stickier and more clogged. And it's not just fast food chains. Many packaged snacks, pies, and pastries also contain hidden trans fats. If you see partially hydrogenated oils on a label, that's your warning sign. Your heart is at risk. Sugary drinks are another silent killer. Sodas, energy drinks, sweetened teas. They flood your body with sugar, spiking your blood glucose and forcing your pancreas to pump out insulin. Over time, this leads to insulin resistance, weight gain, and inflammation, all of which accelerate artery damage. But the real danger is how easy it is to consume them. One can of soda contains around 40 grams of sugar. That's like pouring 10 teaspoons of sugar directly into your bloodstream. And the more sugar you drink, the more likely your body is to turn it into fat, especially around your liver. This leads to fatty liver disease, high triglycerides, and clogged arteries. You might think, but I'll burn it off later. The truth is, no amount of exercise can erase the damage constant sugar overload does to your arteries. Fast food as a whole category is a major problem. Burgers dripping with grease, milkshakes full of sugar, fries cooked in unhealthy oils. These meals are designed for taste and profit, not for your health. They're high in calories, salt, and unhealthy fats, but low in fiber and nutrients. They fill your stomach, but they don't nourish your body. In fact, they rob your body of energy in the long run. Imagine eating a fast food combo meal, a burger, fries, and soda. That one meal alone can push your body into a state of inflammation, spike your blood pressure, and thicken your blood within hours. Now imagine doing that several times a week. Your arteries don't stand a chance. We also need to talk about excess salt. Salt itself is not the enemy. Your body needs sodium to function. But the problem is, how much salt is hidden in packaged, processed, and restaurant foods? Too much salt raises your blood pressure, which puts stress on the walls of your arteries. Over time, high blood pressure damages those walls, making them more vulnerable to plaque buildup. Picture water constantly pounding against the sides of a dam. Eventually, cracks appear. That's what high blood pressure does to your arteries, and too much salt is often the cause. Another silent destroyer is white refined carbohydrates, things like white bread, pastries, cookies, and pasta made from refined flour. These foods act almost like sugar in your body. They digest quickly, spike your blood sugar, and cause insulin surges. Over time, this contributes to obesity, diabetes, and clogged arteries. Whole grains, on the other hand, digest more slowly and keep blood sugar steady. But refined carbs, they're like pouring gasoline on the fire of inflammation. Alcohol is worth mentioning too. In small amounts, certain types of alcohol, like red wine, may have some protective compounds, but the line between small and too much is dangerously thin. Excessive alcohol damages your liver, raises your blood pressure, and adds empty calories that lead to weight gain. Heavy drinking also weakens the heart muscle itself, making it harder for your heart to pump blood effectively. If you drink, moderation is key, but for many people, even moderation is harder than they think. And let's not forget about packaged junk foods, chips, candies, donuts, fast microwave meals. They're loaded with sugar, salt, unhealthy oils, and artificial additives. These aren't just empty calories, they're toxic calories. Every bag of chips or candy bar is a hit against your arteries, raising inflammation, spiking blood sugar, and leaving behind damage that builds up day after day. The hardest part about all of this is that these foods are everywhere. They're easy, cheap, convenient, and advertised nonstop. But convenience comes with a cost. Every time you choose them, you're trading short-term satisfaction for long-term suffering. You're trading minutes of flavor for years off your life. And it's not just your life, it's your family's life too. Think about your kids, your spouse, your loved ones. They want you here, healthy and strong. No bag of chips, no burger, no soda is worth robbing them of more time with you. Here's the empowering truth. You don't have to cut everything overnight. Start by becoming aware. Start reading labels. Start questioning your habits. Ask yourself, is this food healing me or is it harming me? That one question alone can change everything. Slowly, as you cut back on artery-destroying foods and replace them with artery-healing foods, your body will thank you. Your energy will rise. Your blood pressure will drop. Your cholesterol will improve, and your arteries will begin to heal. The foods that destroy heart health are not a mystery. You already know what they are. Fried, processed, sugary, salty, artificial. That's the list. But the real choice is yours. You can keep letting them damage your heart in silence, or you can take back control, meal by meal, bite by bite. The fork in your hand is more powerful than any pill. Use it wisely, and you can build a future free of fear, free of disease, and full of life. When it comes to protecting yourself from heart attacks, food is one of the most powerful tools you have, but it's not the only one. Think of food as the foundation, the bricks that build a strong and healthy heart. But what holds those bricks together? What gives your body the strength to stay resilient for decades to come? That's where lifestyle comes in. Food and lifestyle are not separate. They work hand in hand like two sides of the same coin. You cannot eat a salad for lunch and then spend the rest of the day smoking, sitting still, and stressing nonstop, expecting your arteries to stay clear. To truly protect yourself, you need both healing foods and life habits that support your body at every level. Let's start with movement. Your heart is a muscle. And like any muscle, it becomes stronger when you use it. Every time you exercise, whether it's a brisk walk, a bike ride, swimming, dancing, or lifting weights, you're training your heart to pump more efficiently. Exercise lowers blood pressure, reduces bad cholesterol, increases good cholesterol, and helps your arteries stay flexible. Imagine your arteries as rubber bands. When you're active, they stay elastic, expanding and contracting with ease. When you're sedentary, they stiffen, making it harder for blood to flow. That stiffness is what sets the stage for heart attacks. Just 30 minutes of moderate movement most days can dramatically reduce your risk. And here's the best part. You don't need to run marathons. Start with walking. Park further away. Take the stairs. Every step you take is a step away from heart disease. Then there's stress. We live in a world that moves at lightning speed. Deadlines, bills, responsibilities, constant notifications on our phones. Our bodies were not designed to live under this kind of pressure every day. When you're stressed, your body releases cortisol and adrenaline hormones that increase blood pressure and inflammation. Over time, chronic stress becomes like a constant storm battering your arteries until cracks form and plaque sneaks in. That's why managing stress is just as important as managing your diet. Meditation, deep breathing, prayer, journaling, or even a simple daily walk in nature can calm your mind and lower stress hormones. Protecting your heart isn't just about what you eat, it's also about what you allow your mind to carry. Sleep is another piece people underestimate. When you don't sleep enough, your blood pressure rises, your body becomes more insulin resistant, and inflammation increases, all of which damage your arteries. Think about how you feel after a poor night's sleep. Groggy, irritable, drained. Now imagine your heart trying to keep beating strongly under those conditions day after day. It wears down. Sleep is your body's repair mode, the time when your arteries recover from the stress of the day. Adults need 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night. Skipping it doesn't make you stronger. It makes your heart weaker. Now let's talk about smoking and alcohol. Smoking is one of the fastest ways to damage your arteries. With every puff, you're inhaling chemicals that inflame and scar the lining of your blood vessels. Smoking also reduces oxygen in your blood, forcing your heart to work harder. If you want to unclog your arteries and protect your heart, quitting smoking is non-negotiable. As for alcohol, moderation is key. While small amounts of certain drinks like red wine may have some benefits, too much alcohol raises blood pressure, weakens your heart muscle, and adds toxic stress to your liver and arteries. The safest bet for most people is to limit alcohol or cut it out altogether. Hydration is often overlooked, but it plays a role too. Blood is mostly water, and when you are dehydrated, your blood becomes thicker, making it harder to pump through your arteries. Staying hydrated helps your heart pump efficiently, keeps your energy up, and supports overall circulation. Aim for water throughout the day instead of sugary drinks that harm your arteries. Now imagine combining all of this. Eating artery-healing foods, exercising regularly, managing stress, sleeping well, avoiding smoking, limiting alcohol, and staying hydrated. What happens? You create a shield around your heart. You're not just reacting to disease. You're actively preventing it. You're taking control of the one thing so many people believe they've lost control over their health. And here's something powerful to remember. It's never too late. Even if you've spent decades eating poorly, sitting too much, smoking, or neglecting your health, your body has an incredible ability to heal when you give it the chance. Arteries can regain flexibility. Plaque buildup can slow or even shrink. Blood pressure can drop. Energy can return. You may not undo everything overnight, but you can change the direction of your life starting today. Every healthy choice you make is like opening a window in a dark room. The light starts to come in. The beauty of lifestyle and food is that they work together. Eat fatty fish and leafy greens, and your arteries get cleaner. Go for a walk afterward, and your blood flow improves even more. Add stress reduction, and inflammation goes down. Sleep well, and your body repairs itself while you rest. Each habit multiplies the benefits of the others. It's not about perfection, it's about consistency. Think of it like compounding interest in a bank account. Each small deposit you make adds up, and over time, the results are massive. One healthy meal doesn't change your life. One workout doesn't clear your arteries, but one meal plus one workout plus one good night of sleep, repeated day after day, becomes the difference between a life cut short by a heart attack and a life lived fully with energy, vitality, and joy. The truth is, your heart is not asking for miracles. It doesn't need you to be perfect. It just needs you to care. It needs you to give it the right fuel, the right movement, the right rest, and the right environment. Do that, and it will beat strong for you, not just today, but for years to come. Protecting your heart is protecting your future. It's protecting your family's future. It's making sure you're there for the milestones, the laughter, the memories yet to come. When you combine the healing power of food with the strength of a healthy lifestyle, you're not just avoiding a heart attack, you're choosing life. You're choosing freedom. You're choosing to take control one choice at a time. And in the end, that choice will make all the difference. You've just taken a journey through the truth about your heart, what harms it, what heals it, and what can ultimately save your life. And here's the most important thing to remember. Your health is not written in stone. Your future is not sealed by your genetics, your age, or even your past choices. Every single day, with every meal, every step, every decision, you are either moving closer to disease or closer to health, closer to weakness or closer to strength. Your heart is fighting for you every second of your life. It beats over 100,000 times a day without asking for thanks, without ever taking a break. The question is, will you fight for it? Will you give it the foods, the movement, the rest, and the peace it needs? Or will you keep ignoring the warning signs until it's too late? The power is in your hands. The foods that unclog your arteries are within reach. The habits that protect your heart are choices you can make today, not tomorrow, not someday, but right now. Change doesn't require perfection. It requires a decision followed by action. One small step, then another, then another. Don't wait for a heart attack to remind you of what's precious. Don't wait until you're lying in a hospital bed, wishing you had done things differently. Choose today to live differently. Choose today to invest in your future, in your family, in your dreams. Your heart is your lifeline. Protect it, nourish it, strengthen it, and in return, it will give you the greatest gift of all, more life, more energy, more moments, more love. The choice is yours and the time is now. Take control of your heart health and you'll not only prevent disease, you'll unlock a life of vitality, freedom, and strength. Because at the end of the day, your future isn't decided by chance. It's decided by choice. And today you get to choose.